So, we will learn about operations in C, also the const keyword. So without any delay, let's start. I have int main over here as this is the entry point for this new script. And I'll create variables. So two int variables, int num1 and int num2. So over here, int is the data type, and by declaring the data type and after that the name, I'm actually creating this variable, and I have assigned the value of 10 to the newly created variable. So like this, I have two integers. Let's do some operations on them. So I'll also create an integer called result where my output of the operations will be stored. Now result can be num1 plus num2, which should give 20 plus 10, 30. So let's add a print statement to check out the result. So over here, I'm doing string formatting and I have passed in %i as the type of result is int. So whatever the value of result, it will be put into this placeholder %i. So if I build and run this, so I'll do gcc operations.c. So my a.out file has been updated, so I can run it. You can see that my result is 30 from this plus operation. Next, we have multiplication. So similarly, I'll print the result of multiplication. And if I build and run this, you can see the multiplication result is 200 as expected. Next, I have subtraction, also division. So similarly, let's build and run them. You can see that subtraction result is 10 minus 20, which is minus 10, which is perfectly fine. But for the division, if you notice that num1 divided by num2, which should be 10 divided by 20, which is 0.5. But over here we are getting the value of 0. This is because the division operation is implemented for integers only, as we have passed in two integer data types. So there is an implementation of division using float where the decimal points will be valid. So we actually need to use that. So what this division has done, it has created the division output as 0.5, but as both of them are int and the result is also int, it cannot store the decimal part of that. So it has truncated the decimal part, and instead of 0.5, we only got the integer part, which is 0. So let's actually do the float operation. So we have put a new variable called f underscore result 0. So type of this is float. So hopefully this should hold the decimal part from this division operation, right? So let's print this. Actually, you can see that as it is written over here, so this division is implemented for int, not float, as both of the arguments are int. So num1 and num2 both are ints. So whatever the data of this division operation is, that is strictly int, and that int has been typecasted or copied over to a float data. So we can see over here that it is 0.0000. The 0.5 has been missed out. So to fix that, we can do a float typecast to any one of the variables. So we are essentially saying that convert this num2 into a float, after that use the division operation. So this will essentially force this division operation to be a float division. So let's see. I'll just print out the result. And over here you can see that 0.5 has been printed. So finally, we have the proper division operation. Next, we have the mod operation, which is denoted by this %sign. So what modulus operation does is, it will divide num2 by num1 and it will give us the remainder. So we get the remainder over here 0. So I'll change some of the values. Let's say we do this, let's say 99 and 20. Okay, some random value should be there. So 20, that is the result of the mod. So over here, this is another operation. So what this does is int myint plus plus means myint equals to myint plus 1. So this is incrementing the value of myint by 1 and storing that value inside myint. So let's see in the print message. So essentially this line should create myint, and after that the myint will be incremented to the value of 6. So if I build and run this, as you can see, it is 6. Now myint minus minus, at this stage myint has become 6. So if we do myint minus minus, as we have guessed, it will decrement the value of myint by 1 and it will store it into myint, and the value becomes 5. Now we have const. So like we have seen that these variables we have created and assigned value to. Also later on we have like reused the variables to store different values. So like we have kept on changing the values of the variables. But imagine a scenario where this kind of change, even if by mistake, is very unnecessary and dangerous to your application. So we have the const data type. So const data type will make this data read-only. So this read-only value cannot be modified after it has been created. So while creating, you can assign any value, and that value can come from any operation also, or you can just write a hard-coded value over here. That is also fine. But once this has been created, it cannot be changed. So like any other int, we can like treat it, and we can actually build and run this. So you can see that the operation of this has been stored into my constant. But see what when I do this, my constant plus plus. So this is increment operation and it directly changes the value that is stored in the my constant. So this is not allowed. Say the expression must be a modifiable L value. So this is not a modifiable value. This is only read-only value. So I can do that. I can take a copy of a integer variable that has been created previously as a constant. After taking the copy, the original integer I am incrementing, and let's print both of them. So I'll build and run this. You can see that the original, which was not const, has been updated, but the const copy is as it is. So if I uncomment this line and try to modify the value of the const, it again gives the same error. So like const is very important in C programming language, also in C++. This read-only feature makes like various implementations safe for consumers, while consumers can be another developers who are writing like who are using your functions and implementations to write their own code. So you don't want to change some value which is not supposed to be changed accidentally. So const is very important, and we'll be using const also all of these operations a lot more throughout this series. So stay with me and thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. Thumbs if you liked it. Do share it with your friends and family, and make sure to subscribe for more content and let me know in the comment section below.